Paul.
And I'm Mike, and you're watching the only live real estate show that Destin offers.
So let's go ahead and get started.
One of the most fun things here that I think we have is the annual Destin Fishing Rodeo. It just got underway last week with over 100 local charter boats, plus at least 200 private boats from the neighboring states. There's great prizes for everybody for the largest fish in each one of the various species. And it all takes place at AJ's, where they just recently remodeled the dock and the weighing station out there, plus a grandstand, so it looks really, really nice. And the weather here is absolutely gorgeous. And one thing I want to mention to you investors out there, this is a perfect time to get down here and look at some properties. They're easy to get into. Like last weekend I showed 8 properties, we got into 7 of them, and that's usually just the other way around in the summer. So you might want to consider a trip down here, and if you do, don't forget to stop by and see us. We'd love to see you.
Okay, can you believe it's already October? Man, where's the time gone by? Well, I tell you what, we got some new numbers, and we did a little bit different this time. We wanted to, since we just got finished with the third quarter of this year, we wanted to go back and compare second quarter and third quarter compared to last year, which are basically our 2 busiest seasons. 6 months of the year is the busiest 6 months of the year. Wanted to do a comparison, same time frame for last year. Keep in mind, it's the entire real estate board, includes all the realtors, and we got some interesting numbers for you. And as you notice when you're watching the market, you're going to hear how the market's gone up and then gone down and all this stuff, and it's going to be kind of tagging along, but wanted to break it down and give you an idea. As far as the homes go, for the 6 months, April to September, the price was up 7.2% over the same time frame last year. Now that sounds real powerful. Hey, the market's turning around. A lot of people are getting excited, a lot of sellers, etc. But we need to understand where that increase is coming from, because when you break it down, well, you kind of get a different story. And we're not saying that we're the bearer of bad news. We're just bringing you the news so you can make that decision whether you're a buyer or a seller. So to keep in mind, to break that down, your traditional sales, okay, the homes that were not a short sale, not a REO, well, guess what? Those prices actually dropped 3.6% over the same time frame last year. That's not real encouraging, you know, so don't want to take all the air out of the bubble there. But our REOs also dropped. Those are bank-owned properties. They dropped 8.3%. But the biggest increase in sales were short sales. They were up a whopping 34.7%. So the increases that you hear, at least for now, is related to the short sale category. Because a lot of times sellers are like, hey, this is great, but guess what? My property is still sitting on the market. You got to keep in mind, as you hear these increases, you still have to be priced to sell. Because right now, everybody is very price conscientious, and you don't want to be misled by these increases, finding out that these categories, well, it might not be pertaining to you. So if you're seriously about selling, make sure you understand all the numbers. So that's the report for the housing. Okay, well, where do we stand with condos? Again, same time frame. Condos, well, we was pretty well even on the prices. They only dipped down about 0.5%. So pretty stable on there. The units sold, they dropped down a little bit, 2.2%. So for the most part, our condos were pretty well in the same category as they were same time last year, again for the 6-month period. But guess what? In the traditional pricing, the non-short sales, non-REOs, the regular seller, those prices dropped 10.3%. So I know you didn't want to hear that. But 10.3% drop on the traditional sales, but the short sales was up 21.7%, and the bank-owned properties were also up 4.6%. So when you're looking at the sales as far as the condos, well, they're still in the short sale and the REO categories. That is still a dominating factor in both the homes and the condos. So again, just wanted you to understand where we're at. Also, there's going to be a new trend that's coming out, and that is going to be the short sales. You're going to start to see large companies coming in and acquiring the bank's properties in bulk numbers. That's already started to happen in Tampa. You're going to see it more in Atlanta. It's going to spread around the country. It's a way for the banks to get rid of the properties that they're holding in their portfolio, and it's a good way for them to get rid of it. So don't be surprised if you see large corporations coming in and just swooping them up, and they're taking those properties and putting renters in them. So that's something you might be hearing about in the near future, and that's been the latest trend. So thanks a lot, and hope these numbers were real helpful for you so you can make that educated decision.
In closing, we want to thank all of you for joining us today, and we hope this information was good for you. Also, don't forget, you guys that are sitting on the fence, you need to come down here. The weather is gorgeous. Come on down and we'll take you out and show you the town.
Hey, thanks again for watching. Keep in mind, if you know somebody who could use the information, really help them out, pass it on, because we like our family growing. And don't forget, if you're planning on buying or selling real estate,
don't forget to call the Shorey team.